Hello, everyone, and welcome to our group's Futures Project, where today we're going to take a second to take a look at the future of Pakistan's nuclear weapons program and its predicted consequences.
Hi, this is Adam Watson, talking today about the economics with the nuclear program in Pakistan. So the main questions are how much money is spent and will be spent in the future, and where does money come from, as we know that Pakistan doesn't exactly have the best economy. Well, the estimates of their spending in the nuclear program range a lot, and it makes sense because you don't want your enemies to know exactly how much you're putting into the program. So the high end of the estimated cost is about 2.5 billion per year, although one reporter from Pakistan estimated it was probably around in the 1.1 billion range, maybe zero point 0.9 billion range. And that seems to be more reasonable as to when you start to take into account how much was produced in Pakistan. And then another reporter again, and looking to the future, that Pakistan has projected that it'll spend $12 billion in arms. So that's their whole military funding in arms from about 2016 to 2024, which is right around $2 billion per year. So the question is, where does this money come from? Well, Pakistan's economy is projected to continue to struggle, with its GDP growth rate anchored to a little over 3.5% over the next 5 years. But despite that, Pakistan has increased its defense expenditure for the coming year from 2.3 of its GDP to 2.454. So you start to wonder, what are Pakistan's priorities when it comes to its economy?
Hi, I'm Robert Rigby, and this is my part on the relations on nukes with surrounding countries. So Afghanistan is more concerned with Pakistan's relationship with India. Afghanistan and India are really close friends, and Afghanistan receives scholarships from India. So they're more concerned about the relationship they have with India rather than with the relationship they have on themselves. Pakistan cooperated with officials in transferring some sensitive nuclear know-how in the past, and so they claim there's a little threat to Pakistan. Iran's not a big player in this. They just kind of helped out, and now they're trying to become friends, I suppose. India, as we know, there's constant war, and they're both stockpiling their weapons, and there's lots of war history between the two of them. And then China is a big support for Pakistan's military and the forces, and they're a high-value guarantor of security against India.
Hi, my name is Nicole Gleason, and my topic was on the consequences of the economies based on the nukes.
Nuclear weapons mostly financially affected countries throughout the world. These countries included North Korea, Pakistan, Ukraine, France, and some other smaller countries throughout the Middle East. As a demand for nukes grew, many countries began to understand that they needed these weapons as a protection and as a defense. For the smaller countries, this was a good thing because they had the secrets and resources to creating these dangerous weapons, which helped to stabilize and grow their rocky economies as money began to flow throughout their lands. For some other countries, it was more of an issue of finding the money necessary to get nukes in their hands, but that didn't stand in their way. Countries like Pakistan and India are a great example of countries who have gained from it financially. Because they no longer needed to constantly spend money on large armies and updated weaponry, instead they have their nukes as an alternative. And we can conclude that nuclear weapons had a clear impact on many countries' economies throughout the world, whether good or bad.
Hi, my name is Jake Boer, and I'd like to continue our discussion on the future of the Pakistan nuclear program and talk more specifically about the impact on the people. One of the biggest impacts that this will have on the people in the future will continually be the education effects. Now, you might wonder, how are the nuclear weapons programs tied to the education and effects of the people? Well, if you look at the facts, it becomes more evident. You can look at the government spending, and over 20% of the total government spending is still spent on the military. And Pakistan is estimated to continually spend $2.5 billion a year on their nuclear program. However, they are still neglecting the public education system while only allotting 2.17% spent on the public schools education. Now, this is a problem because we know that over 50% of the Pakistani population remains illiterate, and they still have a problem keeping their teachers in school, and girls still have a problem getting admitted into school. And it seems like this trend will continue into the future, mostly because of the attention that the Pakistani government chooses to give to its nuclear program rather than its public education system.
Pakistan's future nuclear deal possibilities. To better understand what kind of possibilities Pakistan has in their future, I look towards Iran's recent deal with the United Nations in limiting their nuclear program. Their deal consisted of Iran reducing their centrifuges, and also, if you remember, these centrifuges were used to enrich the uranium that was used in the nuclear power plants and also in weapons. They also would reduce their stockpile of uranium, and also they must allow the United Nations to inspect and make sure that they're living up to this deal. In return, the P5+1 group, which consists of Russia, the United States, the United Kingdom, France, and China, and also Germany, would remove sanctions on companies doing business with Iran, making Iran's economy boost and also allow a lot more of a free market with them. If Iran would fail to live up to these rules and regulations, the United Nations would put all previous sanctions back in place. So Iran's example really shows what possibilities Pakistan has in the future. If you remember back a few weeks ago in the semester, we talked about if the United States should intervene if a radical militia were to take power in Pakistan. Should we or should we not go in and try to protect the nuclear capabilities? I believe that a plan that would limit to the centrifuges, increase the safety and security of the nuclear power plants and weapons, get rid of the United States having to make a decision on whether to intervene or not.